Devils Thursday. This is The Woo Report. The Woo Report. Episode 403. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker in an undisclosed location. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Worldwide, all over the internet. Dave Singer, he is watching from Seoul, South Korea, as he says, in the YouTube Live. Hello, Michael Hay, Andre, Devils Bands U Boston as well. Let's go. Kyle, I'm so ready for this season, as am I. One more hill to climb in preseason, as the Devils will try to go undefeated tomorrow night on Long Island against Lou Lamoriello's New York Islanders. And it's been remarkable how this team has responded since losing to the Carolina Hurricanes second round, game 5, in heartbreaking fashion. And they went home thinking what could have been. But they also went home and thought, we got a lot of work to do. And it just seems like this Devils team, as talented as they are, as young as they are, as just, they just seem so humble and so talented and confident that they have this 1-0 mentality. Next game, let's go. They're not thinking too far ahead. They're not dwelling on the past. But it seems like every single New Jersey Devils player was focused, getting ready for the upcoming season. And it definitely shows during preseason. I know there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the defense. You can't be winning 6-5 games all the time. But the improvement, the maturity, and the chemistry has improved greatly. Could it be Travis Green, the new assistant coach or associate head coach, whatever you want to call him, taking over for Andrew Burnett, who is now with Nashville? Could he did Travis Green unlock the potential of the Devils' special teams, especially on the power play? The power play is at a ridiculous rate in preseason. And the penalty kill, wow, the penalty kill, much better. But again, still lots to work on. I'm not going to say that the Devils are going to win the Cup. I know I was talking to Billy Dean of Hockey on Tap earlier this evening, and he said, no, you guys are going to get the Cup. I know it. And I said, Bill, it's only preseason. But it would be remarkable if the Devils went undefeated in preseason by beating the Islanders on Long Island and in solid fashion. Should give the team a lot of confidence going into opening night, which is October 12th. We'll be at American Whiskey. Yes, American Whiskey at 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center, next to Championship Plaza. We'll be out on the big stage. But yeah, I just think that it would be an amazing, amazing feat if they do that. But it's preseason, doesn't count. But what counts is watching this team mature and get better and better over the last couple of years. We've seen the incremental progress, but that incremental progress last season turned into exponential progress. What do I mean by exponential progress? They had a record-setting regular season. Oh, yes, they did. They practically annexed Canada, California. They blew through these cities because they didn't know any better. And you know what's amazing about this team? They're playing a team concept right now. You don't hear off the ice issues or egos. You don't hear any of that. Even Mikey McLeod and Nathan Bastian, they just took their deals because they wanted to be on this team. Everybody wants to be on the New Jersey Devils right now because that's where the excitement's at. It took a long time to get to this point. But boy, isn't it great? Nathan Bastian, seeing some talk in the YouTube Live right now. Nathan Bastian, again, he's kind of on the outside looking in to get on that fourth line. Because Curtis Lazar is playing very well. He's scoring goals. Mikey McLeod, you're going to need him on faceoffs and leading the fourth line. But boy, did he get his confidence in that Game 7 against the New York Rangers. We talked about this last night after the game. Nosek, he is big with experience. Andre says, I personally don't care. It goes against the Islanders. Just they go from from the get-go against Detroit. Well, yeah, obviously. Obviously, you want them to bring their A game against Detroit, home crowd. You know, you want to go 2-0 by the end on Friday the 13th, no less. If the Devils are 2-0, they could possibly be 3-0. But they got to play the Florida Panthers on that Monday. But they'll be well rested at home. I think the Devils right now are where they need to be. And there are question marks about the third pairing. There are question marks about should the Devils pair Luke Hughes with Brendan Smith. But I do like the pairing of Ball. Excuse me, Ball and Marino. Dougie Hamilton, still a liability on defense, but very good offensively. From the blue line, Jonas Siegenthaler paired up with Dougie Hamilton. Not a bad pairing. Not a bad pairing at all. Craig Best says Friday the 13th is his birthday. Happy Devil's birthday to you, Craig Best. A little early, but, you know, doesn't hurt. Kyle says, I have a feeling Nemec will stay up, but if he slips at all, they got to send him down. Not to do the same thing like Holtz last year, wait too long. Kyle, I think Nemec should start in Utica. And it's not a knock on Nemec. It's just he just completed his first full professional hockey season. And I think another year would do him wonders. But I'm assuming they would call him up. You'd rather have him progress up, not down. And that's what I think. I think this Devils team is loaded, and the league is watching. Some power rankings came out. Majority have the Edmonton Oilers and the Carolina Hurricanes near the top. But this Devils team still has a lot to prove. Was last year a fluke? I don't think so. The Devils can bang. They got some beef in the bottom six. And it's just going to be, well, Eric Holla, Palat. You're going to be on the edge of your seats because the Devils can score at will, especially responding to giving up goals. And the Devils can score in bunches and really quickly and turn the entire narrative of the game, just like they did against the Rangers last night. First period, boom, boom, 2-0. Just like that. Demoralizing for the Rangers. They try to come back, put a nice effort in, but the Devils' firepower is just too much. But I don't think the Devils should rely on their firepower. They got to play better defense. They got to shut down the opposition. Discipline plays. And you betcha that John Marino and Kevin Ball are going to be logging big minutes, quality minutes, important minutes as a pairing, especially during the playoffs. It's going to be nuts. Opening night, because we all know the Devils, they are great. They're a great team, but they can be even better. Tom Fitzgerald is going to try to build a dynasty here, and the first step is to win that cup. Win the cup. I think the Devils can. Maybe not this season. I predicted 2025 5 years ago. But the attitude of these players, and it all started with Nico Hischier, if you really think about it. Nico Hischier being the first overall, then Jack Hughes in 2019. Two guys that set the bar. Two guys that probably took a little bit less on their second contract to be with the New Jersey Devils, but it allowed Tom Fitzgerald the flexibility of weaponizing the cap space last couple years up until now, and also make trades. You know, it's funny how things work, that the Devils were really in on Johnny Gaudreau. But I think the Columbus Blue Jackets did the Devils a favor, because right now what came out of it was cap space after Gaudreau bolted for the Blue Jackets. The Devils signed Palat, if you remember, which was a big deal. Also, they gave the Devils a little bit more flexibility and room to trade for John Marino, for Ty Smith. That couldn't have happened if the Devils didn't have any cap space. They weaponized the cap space to make that trade for John Marino. How are you liking John Marino right now? I love John Marino, and he's jacked. He is jacked. The muscle on John Marino. Again, just quietly humble and going about their business in this past offseason. You could tell there's a big difference, literally and physically, about this New Jersey Devils team. Can the Devils stay healthy? That's a big question mark. Last season, for the most part, they did. You'll always have to deal with injuries. But the Devils have so much depth right now that it's next man up. Let's go. Let's win. And the Rangers' window of actually winning a Stanley Cup is getting smaller by the minute, because you can't compete against this team. Also, that Metropolitan Division, the Devils still have to win games. They almost clinched first overall in the Metropolitan Division. The Boston Bruins went on a very historical run all of last regular season in 2022-23 NHL season. But they lost a lot of key parts due to retirement, like Bergeron. But yeah, it's crazy to think how good the Devils are. And I hope they don't stop at one. I would like by the end of the decade that Jack Hughes has 7. Oh, okay. That's a little unrealistic. All right, but at least 2. It's been a long time, Devils fans. It's been since 2003. 20 years. But the magic is back with the New Jersey Devils, and they are going to be so scary good. Oh, but don't get complacent. We don't want to be the fans that get complacent. You got to treat every game as a playoff game, as if it was your last shift, as if it was the last game of the season. Because I remember in 2001, it was like, yeah, we're blowing teams away, not even on our best nights. Looked like Scott Gomez had that first goal in Game 6 against the Colorado Avalanche. And then everything unraveled. Everything unraveled. Same thing last season. You beat the Rangers in 7 games. Are you kidding me? The NHL scheduling. The Devils finish off a heated series on Monday night, and Wednesday night, they're in Carolina to play the Hurricanes. I don't think that was fair, but that's just part of the game. But the Devils themselves, they're making no excuses. They really aren't. I mean, you're just reading the press releases and, some of the quotes. You know they're in the zone, and they want to win, and they want to win badly. Also in the news, when the Chicago Blackhawks owner passed away, it left a seat open at the NHL. Going to look this up right now. But the Devils, he's not a silent partner, but he's a partner of Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment. His name is on the company. But David Blitzer joining, hold on a sec here. I just hate it when this darn phone, I got to figure this out. Hate doing this on air. Hate it when it happens. Or when the mic cuts out. See, when you do things live, anything can happen. Oh, joining the NHL's executive committee. Sorry. That's it. I hope the Devils fans get some benefits out of it. I would hope. But congratulations to David Blitzer joining that NHL executive committee. I see Paul Viken in there on the YouTube Live. Yeah. Well, big announcement, October 8th, Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern. Just a reminder. Also, we'll report after the game tomorrow, the conclusion of the Devils-Islanders game. I've talked to Vinny Parisi. He's on vacation right now. He'll be back on Tuesday. Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal on Devils After Dark will be back as well. We will be back at American Whiskey and other bars at a city near you. Going to be loving it. Going to be loving it this season. And I hope that this time tomorrow that we're going to be all saying Happy Devils Victory Friday, because it's going to be awesome. Shane Van Sickle says, Sam, got you on driving up to Maine. So Shane Van Sickle is driving up to Maine and watching this live podcast from the bunker in an undisclosed location in New Jersey. Wow. Art Nunez makes a great point that Blitzer, being on the executive committee, suggests he is making NJD priority over other sports teams he has equity in. That's a great point. Never thought of it. But, he owns part of the Guardians. I wonder if he still has that interest in the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a good question. But you would think that would bode well. But who knows? What does that mean? Could he tack on a couple games suspension for Jacob Trouba for just being a jerk? Anyway, I'm not a big fan of Trouba. His hits are dirty. He's a dirty player. But if he was on the Devils, I wouldn't mind him either. Anyway. All right. I want to thank all those tuning in to this podcast. Coming back live tomorrow after the game. It's going to be a good one. But are the Devils going to be undefeated in preseason? We shall see. Only time will tell. We'll know around this time tomorrow. Boy, I'm losing. I got to go to bed. I got to get up early in the morning. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, the music is on. Thank you. Big announcement on Sunday, October 8th, on the 9 p.m. Eastern Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition. We've got an amazing announcement for the podcast. All right. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to Andre. Thank you to Morgan, JP, Art Nunez, Bachagaloop, Shane Van Sickle, hands 10-2 on the wheel, 9-3 if you prefer. You got to be safe out there. The crazy goat 19, Rangers won't make it. Love it. JP, Tom, alrighty, getting out of here. This is the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils.